Namaskar. Welcome to this session. We are considering Shaucham, the first of the Niyamas. And the Shaucham is of two planes, Bhaya and Abhyantara, external and internal. So this is the concept of Shaucham. So this clearly tells us that it goes well beyond just cleanliness. Because in English, it has become fashionable to translate Shaucham as cleanliness. But the concept that it is external as well as internal, it is advisable that the word Shaucham is maintained as technical term rather than unjustifiably translating into cleanliness or even hygiene. It is much more than cleanliness and hygiene. So Vyasa begins to explain the Bhaya Shaucham. So he says, Tatra Shaucham Brud jaladi janitam medhyabhya vaharanadi chabayam. So Brud jaladi janitam is the cleanliness of surface body. What we do by taking bath and wash. So, Mult jaladi jalitam. In ancient days, they were not using the soaps that we are used to today. The cleansing agents were kind of fine, kind of earth matter. And as I said during the last session, we are aware of something that is called as Multani mitti. So the clay is a matter with which the body was cleaned in earlier times. Now today we are using soaps and then shampoos, etc. So then he says that even Pavitra Aahaara, and that is Bhaya Shaucham. So here, with regards to Aaharam, let us come out of the narrow popular concept. The food that we eat on dining table these days. The food that goes into belly these days. So we consider that as Aaharam. But what is implied here is very interesting to take note of. In our tradition, we have concept of Pavitra Aaharam, and not just clean food, but it is Pavitra Aahaara. And it's not just the clean food going to belly, but it implies that when the food is partaken, it must first be presented as Naivedyam to divinity or personal deity. So there is a concept of Naivedyam. The food has to be first, there must be Nivedanam, that is offering the food first to Almighty, offering the food to deity, offering food to personal deity. So Naivedyam. And then the same food is to be taken as Bhagwat Prasadam, as if it is grace of God, and that we are taking it as a grace of God. It is ingested at grace of God, and therefore what? As Vaishwanaraagni Aahuti. It is not just putting food to the gastric fire, but it is offered to Vaishwanara, who is in the belly. So this is what is partaking of food in Parmartha and in Adhyatma. Unlike our concept of taking food, when hungry, eat. When having craze, eat. You love it, you eat. You like it, you eat. You have obsession for that and therefore eat. And therefore we are fanning our passion. We are putting fuel to our passion when we take our food. But in Paramartha and Adhyatma, the food should not be taken for pinda. It should not be taken for body matter. In Paramartha, in Adhyatma, and in Yoga Sanskruti, it should be going as Aahuti to Vaishwanaraagni. One should recall Bhagwat Gita quotation in the 15th chapter. Aham Vaishwanaro bhutva praninam dehamashritaha. So Bhagwan Sri Krishna says, I reside in the belly of all beings as Vaishwanaraagni. And therefore, here Vyasa is trying to tell us in his wonderful expression, Medhya Bhya Avaharanadi. So he means the food is taken as prasad, having offered as Naivedyam. Secondly, the food is taken in for Aahuti into Vaishwanaraagni and not Aahuti to our Passionagni, Vaasanaa. So the food should not be going to Vaasanaa, but should be going to Vaishwanaraagni. So that is the concept of Aahaara. Then it has to be taken with purity and pure mind. So it actually also implies there is something which today is perhaps unknown, totally unknown, Panchagavyadi Sevanam. Panchagavya. So this concept was there even just about 100 years back, 200 years back, that the Hindus, Vaidikas, they were used to taking Panchagavya quite often. Whenever there was some kind of indiscipline in life, Panchagavya was taken. Because when you are in indiscipline, you are polluting your body, mind, speech. You are polluting your embodiment. And in order to overcome pollution, just as today we are aware of something that is called as PUC for vehicles, this is PUC for our psyche consciousness, that's called Panchagavya. Panchagavya means the 5 products coming as products of cow. And then combination of those is to be taken in. So this does something as sanctification of the internal body. Although it is not going to purify the external body, it sanctifies the internal aspects of body. So that is the concept of Aahaara. So this classical concept is totally unknown and perhaps quite intriguing to mankind of our times. So that is Bhaya Shaucha, and I wanted you to understand this importance of this Vyasa's comment here when he mentions Bhaya Shaucha also considers Aaharam. It is not just eating good, clean, hygienic food, and perhaps you today get branded food in packets with packaging which you buy in shopping malls, or you get genuine kind of grocery by buying on online from global business entities. So we try to buy something from Super Shopee and then we say it is all clean, it is all hygienic, it is pure, and there is a credence to that you buy as branded, and that you buy from shopping malls, or that you buy from well-known online suppliers. So this is Aaharam. And about Aaharam, there is a beautiful concept which comes in Upanishad. Ahara Shuddho Sattva Shuddhi. What is this Ahara Shuddhi? It is not just eating healthy food, good food, clean food from hygiene point of view. There are so many other things as well. I remember from Gita Bhashyam of Srimad Ramanuja Acharya, who has brought to notice certain other aspects. He says the food that you, or the grocery that you procure, the raw material of your food, the grocery that you procure, it should be procured by money earned by dharmya marga. So that means money that you are going to use to buy the grocery or food material must not be illicit money, not only not illicit money, not only not illegal money, not only money that has come from corrupt practices, corruptions, but by dharmya karma. The money that is earned through virtuous acts, virtuous deeds, that is Artha Shuddhi. So the Artha Shuddhi must be there, which you are going to use to procure your food materials for your cooking of food and then consuming the food. So your karma is important behind the economic activity. Then the food that is cooked must be cooked by a pure mind. It is not by engaging someone to cook your food. Like these days we are used to employing some people as cooks in our house. We pay them, they cook for us and we eat that. We have a concept in our culture called Swayam Pak. Swayam Pak means cooked by oneself. Why Swayam? Or if not Swayam, at least it should be cooked by someone who is very much yours and you are very much theirs. So the food should be cooked, in simple words, by someone who has affinity, love, affection, fondness for you. The best example is one's own mother. So in other words, it should be cooked, if not by oneself, it should be cooked by one's mother, who will have always love, affection, fondness, bond with you. And that is so important, because then that's the mind behind cooking. The mind behind cooking should be pure. When you are cooking food for your loved ones, how is your mind? But if you are cooking food as business activity, then you don't bother about your purity of the mind, because your aim is to cook food as economic activity. So it is not proper to employ someone as a cook in the house, make them cook your food and you eat that food. So there will be their Vaasana on your food, because back home they may not be eating what you eat. And therefore they will have their Vaasana implanted in your food. So that will be polluting the food that goes into your belly. The concept of Swayam Pak, it should be either cooked by oneself for oneself, or someone like mother, or someone whom you love and who loves you. It could be your wife, it could be your siblings. Basically, the food should be cooked with love. And then the food should be eaten in the right frame of mind, and I just now told you, as with that udatta bhavana, as if it is Bhagwat Prasadam, offered as Naivedya, partaken as Prasadam, and then offering into the Vaishwanaraagni and not gastric fire. Because if it goes to gastric fire, then it only is offering into passion, Vaasanaa. So it's a huge, deep concept of Aahara Shuddhi, Artha Shuddhi. So also when the food is eaten, the mind should be in a pious condition, pious state, pure state, sanctified state, and therefore as if it is prasadam. How do you take Bhagavad Prasada? And how it would be taken as offering to Vaishwanaraagni. So that kind of mind, in simple words, the mind should be at least in a balanced state, even state, not polarized state, not in the gravities of worry, anxiety, malaise, kama krodhadi. So never eat food when you are angry. At least for modern man, this advice can be given. When angry, don't eat food. When you have kama, when you have passion, lust, greed, don't eat the food. When you have krodha, anger, exasperation, don't eat the food. Lobha, when you have greed, avarice, don't eat the food. Moha, when you have infatuation, delusion, don't eat the food. So also madamatsariyam. So never to eat the food when the shadripus are rampant. Shadripus are playing havoc. When the shadripus have occupied your psyche, consciousness, mind, at that time food should not be eaten. In other words, the mind should be pure. Mind should be even. Mind should be quiet. Mind should be serene. Mind should be contented. Rather than trying to get contentment out of the food, we must eat the food with contented mind. So, the concept of Aahaara here, Aahaara Shaucha, Aahaara Shuddhi, Aahaara Shaucham, it includes all these factors. So the food should be eaten in a sublime state. If not possible, at least the mind should not be ignoble. So that's Bhaya Shaucham with regards to Aahaara. Then about Bhaya Shaucham, it should be also taken note of that our body is of 9 gates. Navatvara Puri, as Upanishads describe, or Adhyatma describe. Now these 9 gates must be also clean. Each of the gate has its own kind of dirt. So we know that we take note of some dirt in your ears, maybe once in a week or once in a fortnight or once in a month, and we try to clean our ear holes. So there is dirt accumulation in the ears, and we know what is the dirt of the ears. So we take the earbud and clean our ears. That means there is dirt accumulated, generated and accumulated by the ears. We are aware of the dirt in the nostrils, nose. That's why we blow our nose at a wash basin. Mucous membrane gets collected in the nose. So we know the dirt of the mouth, dirt of the nose, dirt of the eyes, dirt of the ears. So taking care of all these dirts and then overcoming the dirt is also part of cleanliness. So we are aware of mouthwash and eye wash, but we don't bother about ear wash. The tactile organ, the skin, we clean it by taking bath and by applying soap. But the 5 indriyas, which are different than indriya golaka, in philosophy is a wonderful concept. Indriya golaka means these are parts of physical body made up of cells and tissues and fibers. But indriyas are made up of vasanas and psychological, psychic matters. So the dirt of the indriyas and dirt of the indriya golaka, both must be understood here. We'll have to conceive both. The dirt of the indriyas is in the form of vasanas, drik vasanas, shravya vasanas, etc., of 5 sense organs. Chakshu, Shrotra, Jivha, Ghrana, Rasana, Sparshendriya. These are 5 sensory organs. They all have their dirt. This dirt is of the nature of vasanas. And the dirt that Indriya Golakas contain is material dirt. It is material form of dirt that you get in the nostrils. You call it mucous membrane. Then you have dirt in the ear, which you clean by using a earbud. You clean your eyes by eye wash. You clean your mouth by mouthwash. You clean your skin by bath, body wash. But there is also dirt of the indriyas. So this is also a matter to be considered. So also we have dirt in our anatomy. So we know the dirt is turned out by way of excretion, which is fecal matter and urinary matter, and there is also sweat, which is turned out from the body by exocrine glands, sweat glands, and sweat is also kind of dirt. Toxins which are in the body, they are turned out by our sweat. There are other processes which our Oriental system mentions about Vamanam, etc. So that also is a cleansing system. So yoga also speaks about the Shat Kriyas, which is exalted way of cleansing the systemic body. The body, as a matter of fact, is nothing but generator of every kind of dirt. Each organ of the anatomical system will turn out some kind of dirt. And yoga takes care of those things in more particular way by way what is called as Shat Kriyas. And some of the Kriyas are there, Shodhana Kriyas. So these are all gross body dirts. The modern science has not identified the dirt to the extent Adhyatma and Yoga Shastra has spoken about. So that's the Bhaya Shaucham. See, it has also such an enormous depth. Then there's the concept of Anta Shaucham. Now, it should be understood that classical Astika gives importance to both the Bhaya Shaucham and Abhyantara Shaucham. Out of idealism, it is not deemed that just Anta Shaucha is enough and don't bother about Bhaya Shaucha. These are all pseudo-spiritual concepts which have crept in. But when it is Anushtanam, as Patanjali is mentioning, the Niyama, the Shaucham as Anushtanam, there is no such shortcut. Bhaya Shaucha is scrupulously observed, Anta Shaucha too is scrupulously observed, because this is Anushtanam, Yoganga Anushtanam. So I recall a verse, a quotation from Ahirbudhnya Samhita of Pancharatra Agama. It speaks about 5 rasas. Shaucham sarvendriyanam cha vaidha karmasu yogyata. So if you have to perform adharmya karma, vaidha karma, you need a kind of purity. And this is both internal and external. Shaucham sarvendriyanam. All the indriyas, the 14 indriyas, the 5 conative, 5 cognitive, 4 internal, called antakaranam. So Bhaya karanam, antakaranam, which sum up to 14 indriyas, they all need to be pure for Vaidha karma, for dharmya karma. And those which give yogyata, qualification for those, that is called Shaucham. Beautiful definition comes in Ahirbudhnya Samhita. So now we are trying to understand the Anta Shaucha. So before that, let me tell you that we in our times are neglecting the Bhaya Shaucha to great extent. So usually we count, what we count here? Snanam, Gudopastha Shuddhi, Mukha Shuddhi, Danta Dhavanam. We do not bother about Navadwara Puri and all the dirts of 9 gates. We just bother about the gate of the mouth and Mukha Shuddhi, Danta Shuddhi, Danta Dhavanam, and Gudopastha Shuddhi. Now let me tell you that the Navadwara concept counts 2 eyes, Indriya Golakas and one Dhrugendriya. The 2 ears. Now, the Indriya Shuddhi is aspect of Antashuddhi. But Indriya Golaka Shuddhi is external Shuddhi. So 2 eyeballs, 2 ears, 2 nostrils or the nose, then the mouth, then the skin, the twacha, the twak, the guda and linga. These are the 9 gates. So 2 eyes, 2 ears become 4. The 5th one is nostrils. 6th one is mouth. 7th one is twacha, the twak, the skin. 8th one is anus, guda. And 9th one is linga, the urinary passage. So all these gates are expected to be kept clean. And let me make a final statement of the day, that when we go to toilet, we try to clean our anal mouth. But when we go for urination, we do not think of cleaning and washing that passage. This has not occurred even to modern hygiene. If you pass bowels, you want to clean the anal mouth. But if you pass urine, you don't want to clean the urine mouth. But in ancient times, in the Shastras, this has been mentioned. It was in practice. So, the Mutra Indriya is also to be given a wash whenever there is Mutra Visarjanam. As there is Gudendriya wash when there is fecal matter discharge or fecal matter excretion. And this has not occurred even to modern man who has the science of hygiene, but this has gone unnoticed. Whereas you come across the mention in Manusmriti and Dharmasmritis about washing these gates too, and there are stipulations how many times they should be washed. Anyway, we will be coming to that when we go a little deeper. So we have tried to take an overview of Bhaya Shaucham. And before going into the Anta Shaucham, let us try to further elaborate on it. But this will be in our next session. So enough for the time being. Namaskar all of you.